Hello, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Buselezo, and this month is a month when I celebrated 10 years of motherhood. On the 19th of January in 2010, I gave birth to my first child, Amogelang, and so I thought that I'd just talk a little bit about my motherhood journey and what it's been like for me this far. So obviously there's a lot of things that have happened in 10 years and I basically won't be able to cover all of them, but I'll just focus on a few things. It was quite something. With my first child, I didn't know that, what did I say? Basically I sort of had a very strong instinct that told me that I was pregnant, but then, you know, when I thought of things, I felt like, but there's no way I could be pregnant, you know, based on certain activities. Not like I'm like Mary, but I thought, no, there's no way I could be pregnant. But then somehow my instinct said you are definitely pregnant. So I felt like there were things that were happening around like my womb area. I don't know if it was my mind or if these things were real, but I just felt changes in the way that I was, and I thought, you know what, you just need to check this out. So because my instinct was so much stronger than what my mind theoretically thought, I just went straight to the clinic. There was a local clinic. I went there and yeah, and I did the test thing and they told me I was pregnant. It was in April and I just knew it. You know, I didn't even bother buying a home pregnancy test because I just knew it. So that confirmed it and I thought, okay, well, I am pregnant. So yeah, where to from now? With my second child, I also didn't quite think I would be pregnant, but I was feeling bloated all the time and I thought, this is strange, why am I feeling like this? And no matter what I tried to feel less bloated, I was just always feeling bloated and a little bit heavy. So one day I thought, you know what, maybe you're pregnant, so just take a test and then to confirm it. So it took me a while. I didn't buy the test, but then one day I was actually working at a clinic. We were just like doing some fixing their doors and things like that, and I decided, okay, since I'm here, let me just take a test and see, maybe I am pregnant. So I asked the nurses if I could take a test. They did it for me, we did it, and then it came back negative. So I wasn't pregnant and I thought, okay, well, I mean, I didn't really think I'm pregnant, but because of the way I'm feeling, I guess that makes me think I'm pregnant. So I sort of ignored that, and then I thought, okay, you know what, let it go, let's see what happens. But then I skipped my period, so then I took a home pregnancy test and it came back negative as well, and then that was really strange. So then I booked an appointment with a doctor. I think again my instinct was telling me, no girl, you're pregnant. I booked it with the doctor. The doctor said, you're not pregnant, but if you want us to take a blood test, then we can do that. And I said, yes, please, I think that will make me more comfortable. So we took the blood test, and a few days later, blood test came back, and indeed I was pregnant. So that was it with the two, where I was pretty much sure and somehow knew. And then with the third one, I did not suspect at all that I would be pregnant. The thing that was happening though was that I was gaining a lot of weight and I was eating a lot. I was just always hungry, but I thought, okay, I do go through those phases every now and again. Maybe I'm PMSing, but it was just constant for months. And then I thought, but I still have my period, there's no way I could be pregnant. So one day I decided, you know what, maybe you should take a home pregnancy test. Then I skipped my period, actually, that's what told me maybe I should. So I took it, and the very first one, I was pregnant, and I was actually in disbelief. I couldn't believe it. Unlike the first two where I knew for sure, my instinct was very sure and I kept digging. this time I didn't see it coming, and I thought, okay, I'm pregnant, all right, let's go to the doctor. And then when I went to the doctor, I then found out that I was actually 16 weeks pregnant already. So I had been pregnant all along. I don't know how my system works that I still have my period, but I was pregnant, and honestly I felt really bad because I thought, I mean, those first 3 months are the most important in terms of your baby's development, and I felt like I didn't do anything. I wasn't proactive because I didn't know, because I was sort of ignorant to my body and what my body was doing. But in any case, the doctor assured me that the baby was fine. So that's how I found out I was pregnant with my 3 children. With my first child, the truth is that I was very embarrassed, completely embarrassed about it, and actually feeling like a failure and a disappointment. So I told my sister first, in hopes that she would help me and tell my parents on my behalf. But my sister was mad. She was legit mad. She was not having it. She was, I can still remember that moment when I told her, and her reaction and the way she was towards me even after that. Yeah, it was a thing. But she sort of warmed up pretty quickly. So because she was so mad, and I thought, I don't think she's gonna tell my parents for me, I think she just wants me to take this up myself, I called my parents and I told them over the phone. And actually, even with the other pregnancies, even though then with the other 2 I wasn't so much embarrassed or scared to tell them, I still told them over the phone. Yeah, always just call them and told them. So with the first one, I made my mother guess. I was like, Mama, guess. Oh, Mama, guess. Guess. And yeah, the first thing she guessed was wrong. I can't remember what it is. And then the second one was the one. Yeah, she said, oh, pregnant. I was like, mm-hmm. And then I asked her to tell my dad. But yeah. And then she called me back the same day and told me, your dad says you must come back home, because I was living in varsity. So that's how I told my parents. Motherhood has changed my life in a way that prior to being a mother, I'd say not so much changes, but during motherhood I find myself changing a lot after each child. So basically, I was like, I don't think motherhood changed me so much. It's almost as if I always knew I was going to be a mother young, and I was going to have these children, and it was just a natural transition for me, to be quite honest. I think I'm just a mother by nature, so it didn't change me much with regards to having my first child, you know. But it did sort of make me think a lot about the future more than I ordinarily would have. But then again, I feel like also because I was also growing up, getting into my 20s, it was going to naturally happen as well, that I was going to think about my future even if I didn't have children. But throughout the journey as well, I would say I've become a little bit more playful. I am a very serious type person, and I know it doesn't really quite show in these videos, but I'm a little bit, not so much, but I'm a little bit on the serious and strict side of life. Then I am playful, naughty, you know, bubbly, cheerful. I can tell you now, I spend more times quiet, serious, thinking, contemplating, than I do spend more time laughing, playing, things like that. So being a mother has sort of filtered in a little bit more of the other side, made me a little more playful, a little happier. Not that I'm angry or sad, but just like actively happy. So being a mother has changed me in that way. I think also because somehow as well I always thought that I was going to be a mother young. I always sort of felt like, or had those conversations that I wanted to have my first child young, even though none of my children were planned. But somehow I always knew, my spirit prepared me in a way, if I'd say. So it's just made me be more happier, bubblier, playful, cheerful. So I did a whole video about the things I didn't expect about being pregnant. So yes, motherhood and the pregnancy part of it is something that I didn't expect. With my first child, it was quite smooth and easy, but with the second and then with the third, I didn't expect a lot of the things that I experienced in my pregnancy. So I'd say the pregnancy part of it is something I didn't expect, and how it goes, you know. Again, transitioning from being pregnant to like having the baby, I didn't expect the pain that comes with giving birth. The pain that comes with giving natural birth, I did not anticipate. My mother didn't tell me, nobody told me, nobody prepared me for that pain. And with the first child, it's sort of like, you know, you don't know what you're stepping into. So when it happens, it's like shocking, and then afterwards I had this thing like, what just happened? So that was a little bit, that sort of caught me off guard. And then with the second child, I didn't want to think much about it. I just thought, let me just focus on the pregnancy. I was having fun with the pregnancy, had nice petite tummy. I was just cute and glowing, so I didn't think much about giving birth. But on the day that I was giving birth, I felt like I was dying. I thought, these are my last minutes on earth. I literally prayed. I remember praying. I said a prayer. I asked God to forgive me for all my sins so that I can enter heaven. And I thought that, I thought I was gonna break into half. I felt like my legs were being cut off of me. When I was alive and holding the baby, I couldn't believe it. I prayed. I think that's the one pregnancy, the one time I gave birth and prayed so much. With the other births, it was just like, thank you God, oh bless my baby. But with that one, I even cried. I prayed a very long and hard prayer, and I thank God for my life. And I thank God. Yeah. And then with the third child, because now I know, you know, now that you know exactly how hectic it's going to get, I was very anxious and very scared from maybe a month before giving birth. I think it's the thing I spoke about the most, like how concerned I was and scared I was to give birth. I was really scared. I wouldn't even lie, I was very scared of giving birth. So yeah, I didn't expect the pain of giving birth. And then I'd say the other thing I didn't expect was the love, the type of love I was going to have for my children. You know, you sort of hear people talking about that love. Is it agape, agape? That love, that just unexplainable, bigger than life kind of love. I didn't expect that, and I felt it instantly. You just feel it instantly. It's just something. I didn't expect that. I didn't know what that was going to be like for me. And yeah, that's actually pretty that's actually a pretty amazing part for me about being a mother. I don't think there's a secret to being a good mother. No, there is no real true big hoo-ha secret. It's just a journey that you may not necessarily be 100% prepared for, but you find yourself on it and enjoying a lot of parts of it and experiencing a lot of challenges in it, but coming out of them on the other side and enjoying yourself and just expecting the unexpected all the time. Like, I expected that something unexpected would happen, and then that's actually for me like the journey of motherhood. But as to a secret, there's no, I don't think so. There's no formula, there's no secret, there's nothing. Am I going to have more children. I don't know. I don't know if I'll have more children. Off the top of my head, I want to say no. But there is no guaranteed. I mean, if all 3 of my children were not planned, I don't know. And I'm trying to get my tubes tied, but the doctors won't let me. They say I'm too young. So if you know a doctor that will let me, please let me know. I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe I will, but somehow I find myself thinking a lot about adoption. So I think at some stage in my life I could. I'm not sure. It's just that it comes with a lot, you know. I've just been through so much with my children that I feel like I need a break for the next 5 to 10 years at least. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not necessarily saying I'm not gonna have more children. So if I have a child, I mean, don't hold this against me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little scared because I've been through a lot. So yeah, I don't know if I'll have more children. So that's it. Honestly, like I say, I've been through a lot. For example, I've seen all of my children in hospital. I have seen Amu, she drank poison when she was around 2 years old, and it was really hectic. It was so hectic. And I just, you know, when the doctor says we really can't guarantee that she'll live, because we didn't know what she drank, and the only way they could fix it is if they reversed. Knowing what they drank, they knew how to reverse it. So if they make a mistake and try to reverse, but then they're reversing for the wrong formula, you know, it was a gamble that we don't know if she'll live. And during that time, I saw her like gasping for breath throughout the day, and just living with drips upon drips on her that were draining this poison, and it was black. It would drain in that sachet thing, and it was just black, and it was being changed like every hour or so because it was just filling up. The poison in her body was like acid, just increasing, and that was so scary. Doctors trying to drip her on her head. They shaved half of her head off, and she was just laying there with her eyes wide open. Her eyes were flipped over onto the other side, and that was very scary for me. And I thought, I don't know. And then with Josi, he's been in hospital as well, at a time when I was pregnant with Moahi, and I'd have to sleep on that hospital bed because I wanted to be there for him while pregnant, uncomfortable. And you know, we'd see like pediatric, what are they called, the heart specialist, I forgot what it's called, but we'd go see him because apparently he had water around his heart, which was like threatening. And you know, those were tough times as well for me emotionally. And with Moahi as well, I've seen Moahi being resuscitated in the middle of the night. I've held him in my hands with a blue face where he has no breath and he's just numb, and I've just seen so much health wise with my children. So, and even teething, you know, I mean, we talk about teething, but it really can be quite stressful for a mother. Really, I don't like this whole teething thing. So I just feel like I deserve a little break maybe. But overall, to be quite honest, I am proud of this journey. I am proud of myself. I am proud of how far I've come as a mother, and I'm just so grateful and thankful. So yeah, that's it about my motherhood journey. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel. And yeah, love you all.